Hey folks, today I'm at the Dugout Bait and Tackle with Jamie Koza, and Jamie's one of my favorite people in the industry. Has an interesting story in terms of, I guess we're going to talk about how long you've been in the fishing industry and what that history is like, and how long you've been in the whole kayak fishing thing. And he's someone who certainly has the passion for fishing and has jumped all in the kayak fishing thing in recent years and has become a major player in terms of the dealers we have in kayak fishing, not just in the Southeast but in the United States. So Jamie, I got two boys that are 14 and 16, and they're kind of looking ahead at their life saying, all right, what is it that I'm going to do with my life? When you were that age, did you have an idea of what your career and what you'd be doing as an adult?
Well, I always had obviously a passion for fishing. Grew up fishing. My grandfather, my dad, they weren't near as passionate about bass fishing as I was, and we'd go, whether trout fishing or pond fishing or wherever, to the salt water and all that. And I guess when I was 14, I started working for a man that at a tackle store, and he I guess I was kind of blessed to be in that situation because he taught me a lot about the business, all the way through middle school, high school. He actually bought my books when I went to college.
Wow.
And
it's quite a dedicated mentor.
Yeah. He was a great guy. Still is a great guy. He's still alive. We still talk quite often. And ended up buying most of the business that we have from him. After about 6 months of college, I came home and decided that wasn't for me, and went back to work.
You bought the dugout, like this business, from him?
No, I bought the dugout from another person that was actually a customer of mine. The dugout was a customer of mine when we were in the wholesale distribution business, which we still are, but they were a customer, and I ended up buying it from the original owner.
And that sign is is an original.
That's a 1950s.
That's cool. And you had it redone.
Yep, just had it redone this year.
So moving into, you went to college for what?
Fisheries management.
Okay.
And
that certainly plays into.
Right. Thought I wanted to get into fisheries management, maybe a game warden, and after working for this other gentleman and kind of working on my own too, I realized that I'd be better off just doing my own thing. So that was 36 years ago.
So you talk about the wholesale business. You have these trucks lined up out here to distribute live bait
and tackle. Yes.
And tackle. And we were looking at some of the stuff being brought in to be shipped back out. What all do you have in terms of live bait, and where does it go?
So obviously we have shiners, all kinds of worms. We sell trout, we sell goldfish, we do some other game fish hauling and stuff like that for other people.
I just saw a pile of crickets come in.
Yeah, so we distribute all that stuff throughout the South, pretty much.
Cool. So at what point in your being part of the fishing industry, being just immersed in it as a bait and tackle distributor, dealer, all of the above, did you realize that kayak fishing was going to be the next big thing? And what led you to go all in as you have?
Well, I think that I've always kayak fished, whether it's been in the salt water, the fresh water, in rivers and the whole deal throughout my life. And with my kids and traveling and camping and stuff like that, which was what a lot of people do. I guess 2017 I started looking for brands to sell, and being that our retail store is kind of a premium shop, I started looking for premium brands to sell, and ended up with Hobie. Being involved with the right people that have the same passion as I did is probably brought us to where we're at right now. You surround yourself with good people, good things happen.
So one of the things that I like to see when I recruit a dealer, and you sell a good number of Torqeedos, is if I offer to come and teach rigging, it's always refreshing and encouraging when and I'm looking at your hands like right now, and you got like scabs and he's hands on, like the rigging of not just Torqeedo but like electronics, power pole. Do you do the Boondocks landing gear installs?
Oh, yeah,
all having someone who's hands on and just jumps right in, and you as the owner know how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got others that you've taught.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's such a critical part in having a good shop is, the rigging capability. Yeah, anyone can be a dealer and sell the parts, but to have expertise in rigging. Tell us a little bit about the I don't want to say the learning curve, but the progression of different accessories that go on the kayak, and you're learning how to do those specialty rigs.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it revolves back around to big boat bass fishing and stuff. We pretty much, all the guys that work here have been involved in that and know how to do simple things with bass boats, and not to say that we kind of put it into kayaks, because kayaks, in my opinion, is a whole new level because you're dealing with a plastic boat that needs, this guy wants this and this on it, and a lot of it hasn't been done before, and especially when you get to 2 and 3 screens, electronics, and with live scope going on, and there's a lot of things going on inside the boat, and if you don't know, unless you've done it, how are you going to troubleshoot it when a customer calls you that's 3 hours away? We rig a lot of boats here that are half the country away, and if they have issues, not to say that it's, some of them, with kayaks you have to take a lot of stuff on and off each time you go. So to be able to troubleshoot that stuff and get it all put back on the boat, and it's definitely a learning curve on doing that, but it's a lot of fun because you're doing a lot of it's the first time it's ever been done 100%, so it's we enjoy it, we love it.
All right, so last time you were on the water kayak fishing, what were you in?
Jackson.
How do you have it rigged?
I have it rigged with a 403 AC, foot control, steering.
Which model?
Koza.
Yeah.
Koza.
So foot control, steering. Where'd you take it?
We trout fish quite a bit, and
so you're using it in some whitewater.
Oh yeah, it's definitely dam controlled water, 100%.
Nice.
And you're able to move around. The good thing about fishing with foot control steering, as a lot of us know, is that you're able to push back up and fish areas that you would have only got a shot to fish through one time.
Right. And
you can go back up and fish, and with foot control steering you're able to control yourself a lot better, and it's a lot safer in the current.
So the first time I came to your shop, I know AJ was like, you got to go check out this place.
Yeah.
And I walked in, and just looking at it, I'm like, it's, what you see when you walk in is the size of an average tackle shop. but then you look at it and the density of the right stuff, like high quality baits, not a lot of things that you would say, it's not something you're going to see at, you know, I don't even want to say a Walmart, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
In box store type stuff, no, you see premium brand tackle, and it's part of the reason I'm here today is to pick up a rod that I know is a rod that I've looked. You don't walk into a Cabela's or Bass Pro Shop and see the rod that I'm looking for on the shelf. You have like, I don't know, like 16 of them of that style rod that I'm looking for. And I think that's something that you know, that just shows that you're immersed. You're part of this industry. What is it that you look for in terms of hey, is this a product, whether it's tackle or anything else that you want to carry?
The first thing I would say, and it's kind of interesting that I've had this conversation quite a bit with some newer dealers here recently, is, you know, what brands do I need to sell? And I would say the first thing is make sure you don't sell knockoff brands. Buy brands that are original and that have passion behind them. And most brands that are original, if you'll really date it back and do a little further research, are brands that people have passion for. The manufacturer has passion for that brand. A lot of, you know, and not saying that there's not good knockoffs, but usually the brands that are original are the ones that hang around 99% of the time.
So the Dugout is a really cool shop, and it's one I look forward to coming to. I know, you know, from walking into, and I think in 2019 I did about 130 different shops that I walked into and got that quick glance of, all right, what do they got going on, and figured out real quick, is it a boutique type store that sells a lot of soft goods, or is there tackle and like good tackle that like is stuff that I buy or that I know is premium brands like what we've talked about, or is it a place that is really about something other than kayak fishing, but they're in paddle sports and they're trying to figure out, you know, no, you got it. Like, you've drawn together all of the premium brands in tackle and rods and rigging and kayaks and Torpedo motors. But, you know, what do you feel is what sets the Dugout apart from other similar businesses?
Well, the first thing I would tell you is employee knowledge. Pretty much all my guys know pretty much.
Can I cut in and say all your guys fish?
Oh, 100%.
Like
100%.
Like,
which is an interesting statement, because, you know, the guy that got me started in this industry, he said, if you like to fish, don't get into this industry.
Yeah.
He said, because you'll be working all the time, which there's some truth. There's certain times that you have to work and put up the fishing pole and accommodate everyone. But I would say that employee knowledge and customer service.
Jamie, I appreciate you taking time with me today.
Good to see you.
Let's go take a look at some premium brand rods.
Oh, that's 240 now.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah. Good. Really? Oh, yeah, you need
All right, let's see what's in the goodie bag, and we'll talk about these rods here in a minute, but you can come in close on it. I did get some of the Z-Man, the black larvas. That is going to play out well on the Susquehanna this winter. That little sucker is a stonefly larva. I'm curious to find out what kind of hook I can do that Elastec, I'm going to lay it flat, can float. What do you think? Like a tiny little octopus hook? Some drop shot hooks? I don't know. I want
Yeah, probably, maybe like a 4 or something like that.
Or just on a jig head.
Yeah.
A very light jig head. I don't.
Might even work on a crappie, like a small crappie jig head.
I can make them.
Yeah.
With that owner 5318 size 4,
Right.
would be perfect on that. I did get some of the micros, the shad fries. I'm gonna try them on my underspins. I don't know if it's gonna work. I did want some longer profiles to go with the underspins, and the TRD minnows. The longer baits on that underspin is really something that I think is something that keeps it from corkscrewing. The tiny ticklers, I don't know what I'm gonna do with those, but that on a small jig head is gonna be.
Might even be a good jig trailer.
Yeah. So when I do videos on a presentation and I showed you my underspins, I always like to find an off the shelf equivalent, and I showed Jamie the ones I make with the Do It mold with the owner 5318, a really sticky hook, and I said, you have something like that, and he gave me several options here. So the fish head spin, I think 1/8 ounce is as close to the one that I make. So that with, I don't know, different trailers, but small, long, skinny trailers. This is, if you watched my underspin videos and you say, I'm not going to get the Do It mold and pour my own lead, that's pretty close.
I'd say so, absolutely.
Yeah, it's right there. So fish head spin, 1/8 ounce. I got some other weights here too. Got some other soft plastics that I can put on there. I needed some in white, so we got those. I'm gonna be on a couple different shad-based lakes. I think Lake of the Ozarks I'll be on. I'll be on Kentucky Lake, and I'll be on some other bodies of water where I know, like this, I troll that behind my kayak and locate fish. These are awesome for when you have that smaller shad fry everywhere. They go, I don't know how deep they go. It says 8 to 10 feet right on the package. There it is. But this helps me find numbers of fish. But I think someone said Lake of the Ozarks has standing timber. So I have some of these in my Lakewood
I saw that.
tackle, the Sidekick Mini.
Awesome.
You're intrigued by that.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm gonna get some more. And then, I got a Pflueger reel. Their top end one I think is the Supreme. And Jamie spooled up some Seagar, smacked down that high vis braid. I'm gonna do my trick with the Sharpie marker, actually with the magic marker. So I do the alternating black and then this color. This is the color. And I'll put the black marks. You get a fat magic marker. I was doing it with a Sharpie, but you take a razor down the center of the fat, like chisel edge, big magic marker, and you put that in the groove, and it was actually one of my subscribers.
Sean Grinkby did that one time. I think I saw
Did he?
do that, yeah.
It's smart. Anyhow, this is the reel. It's the Pflueger Supreme XT, and I have another one of these that I got, with a gift card that I won on the Blotchy Bass Bonanza. But the big ticket items, you're just not going to find. Like, you come here because, and this is my plea. This is my, what I don't understand about so many very good sticks, very good kayak anglers, or even outside of that, but they'll have like 12 or 15 different rods, and each one, this one's specifically for drop shot, but then this one's specifically for fishing sinkers, and this one's for whatever, and that's fine. And they're all in that $150 to maybe $250, close to $300, but then they won't drop the serious coin on the one rod. If you're going to spend a bunch of money on one, in my presentation that I use, that is worth the most sensitive rod that you can get, my finesse jig, the bat wings, and my own Yeah, but it could be the like the Z-Man micro shrooms finesse jig, whatever they call it. Yeah. It's critical to have a rod that will just, I don't know, go on eBay and sell 3 of your rods that you only use some of the times and buy one that is the most sensitive. And Jamie and I have kind of gone back and forth. I've been a loyal St. Croix guy for a long time, and I got another one of these. This is the Legend Extreme, and it is a really great rod. This one I got was 7'6" medium fast. So I have a 7-footer like this that has been really good. That I got my personal best on, but I'm trying to broaden out and try other brands. It's hard for me after many years with St. Croix, but
they make a great product. For sure.
They do, and it's over $600, and people say, I could take all of the rest of the rods in that and lose them, but if I have one finesse jig rod, I'm better off. And to be honest, the one that I have, I broke it, and their warranty will take care of it. I just haven't gone through the steps. I broke it, and I think I broke the carbon fiber guides, and I'm like, I just need to get back into it, and I haven't taken the time to do the warranty thing. The warranty is good, but in its absence, I've been using older like Legend Tournament rods. I got a couple Legend Tournament, and what's the next one that's not the Legend Extreme, but the
Legend Elite?
Yeah, the Legend Elites I have in their older Legend Elites, and they're nowhere near what this Legend Extreme is. But I came down to get the expertise, and Jamie said, "This is my favorite rod. It's going to cost you, but you should be good to yourself. You should have that $600+ rod, right?" So the G Loomis NRX Plus, 7'3" extra fast medium. That's going to be my finesse jig rod for the foreseeable future, and I'm going to give it its
Put it through the ringer.
I'm going to put it through the ringer, and I'm going to have a month of a lot of fishing in different types of places. There'll be some Ozark smallmouth that get caught on this as well. So we'll see. I'm gonna do some comparisons along the way, but I highly value that most sensitive rod, and Jamie's steering me right. I know he is. We went down to the pond and took some casts, and I pushed back a little bit on the action, and we tried a couple different rods. If you want to try these higher end rods and really get a feel for, I don't get my hand on them. Don't order them online. Come here.
I'm gonna tell you,
come to the pond. Work with these folks. Get the most sensitive rod. I don't even say that you can afford. Find a way to afford it. Sell some of your $300 ones on eBay. You'll be able to do it, and then come here with a fat budget for a rod. And I've missed having the Legend Extreme in the rotation. I'm not fishing as well.
They're both great rods. Great rods.
And I just need that higher end, totally sensitive, and I've gotten to it. So yeah. Appreciate your expertise.
Absolutely, brother.
I saved the day, brother.
Tell me what we're looking at.
Let's see. Fathead minnows. Large shiners. More large shiners.
Where are you going first?
Play the wrong thing.
You going first hole?
When the fish go to the bottom, that means they're in great shape.
They're down there.
Damn.